Hello everyone, it's Cindy and I'm back to do an update for you. It is Mother's Day, so happy Mother's Day to all the moms out there. I hope you're having an amazing day, whatever you're doing. I do want to thank all of my visitors, subscribers, friends and family for subscribing, leaving comments. It is an amazing day here in Tennessee, and I do want to give that thanks out. I know there's so many Flosstubers out there now. I'm going to tell you about my stitching retreat and my Saturday stitching group. I did have the stitching retreat this Friday and Saturday, and it was not that far from my house. It was about 25 minutes away in Tennessee, and Katrina hosts the stitching retreat. She is an amazing, sweet woman. I do recommend her highly if you ever have a retreat to go to. You could definitely look her up, and I'll include that below in the links. I went to the retreat on Friday, and I got there about 9:30 a.m. It's not really too far from where I live. I did go in, I saw Katrina right away, and sitting next to her was Nessie. Hi, Nessie. The women in this group were so friendly, so amazing, and the projects they were working on, just to go to retreat it really is just to see what everybody else is working on. It is absolutely amazing, the projects people have. As soon as I walked into that hotel, it had an extremely horrible chemical perfume smell. I mean, as soon as I walked in, I smelled it. And I went to California, I've been to North Carolina, I've been to a lot of places. No places ever bothered me. This hotel was overwhelming with the smell. And the meeting room was up on the 3rd floor. You walked into the meeting room and all the ladies were set up there. Now, on the 3rd floor, there was no bathroom. You had to go down to the 2nd floor to use the bathroom, and there was just one single bathroom. So if there was someone in it, you could not go. I did, last the whole day, probably till about 5:30. In between that day when everybody went out to lunch, I did go over to the cherry pit to pick up some fabrics. I know, I don't get down that area a whole lot, and I wanted to go visit that store and pick up some extra fabrics. And Elizabeth, it just made me laugh in your last video. Yes, you'll have a package coming out to you. It was very fun to go into that store and to shop around for fabrics. I came back, I sat, I stitched, as much as I can. I'm shocked at how many people don't know what Flosstube is. There was a couple of ladies, as soon as I walked in, they're like, I know you, I know your videos. So that was it was weird, but funny. I mean, I was laughing, and I was like, thank you. And I was explaining to the other ladies what Flosstube was. Some of the ladies did not want to be on video, so I really do respect other people's views, and, they don't want to be on camera, and I understand that. So what I did is I took pictures of everybody's work. Now, some people wanted to be in the picture, and I thank them for that. And the pieces they did, absolutely amazing. Some people brought in framed pieces to show how their project was finished, and absolutely gorgeous. And I'll be describing each picture in the slideshow at the end. I did not get a video of the retreat. Now, at the end of Friday, the smell was giving me a migraine, and there was no way I was staying any longer. To me, I just wasn't going to go through that. I did not go back on Saturday, but what I did do is I went to my stitching group on Saturday that I belonged to in Tennessee for several years until I had to start working Saturday. I saw all my old stitchers and friends, and they were shocked to see me and overjoyed. And one of the ladies is moving to another state, and she's only going to be there a couple more weekends, so it was absolutely perfect timing. Sometimes God has other plans. And I knew doing that retreat, if it bothered me, I would just go home. I live that close, and that was something I already knew might come up. The hotel was the Clarion. It's not a top-end hotel. It's on the lower end as far as costs, and I kind of figured there might be, they spray a lot of stuff in those hotels instead of actually getting to the root cause of what the original smell is. They try and cover it up. So as far as keeping the hotels, you know, it's not a hotel I would ever go back to. And I did do a review on that hotel. For anybody who has sensitivity to chemicals or smells, that hotel would absolutely wipe them out. Other than that, the ladies were awesome. And it was a great time just to see all the pieces that the people did. I did do a piece, and I'm going to get that for you. This is the piece that I worked on for retreat. Let me see if I could get it good. There you go. This is from the Just Cross Stitch Ornament issue, 2014. And this will be in my next video finishing it. I actually just finished stitching that last night. I stitched at my Saturday group. I stitched on Friday. So I did finish a piece this weekend. It's very pretty. It did have the Gloriana silks. And Nicole Buckeye Stitcher, you really just, you use 2 threads, just like DMC, and you just stitch it. There really is no difference, but the colors in this piece are really just gorgeous. So I was happy I did get to finish a piece this weekend. This is gonna be a really short video because it is Mother's Day and I have other things to do. I'm gonna be out in the garden and going to the park and things like that. I didn't really finish any pieces. I had pieces stitched up and ready to finish, and that'll be for my next video. I really did want to wish everybody a happy Mother's Day and tell about the stitching retreat and my stitching group. And I do have just a couple of other things. Marlene, you were talking about rescuing cross-stitch pieces from thrift stores and things like that. I honestly think we bought our pieces on the same day because I had posted about it on my blog, and I was going to do it in the last video. The last video from North Carolina, I was exhausted taping that video, and I apologize for that, but I was taping that I think at 11:30 at night. But I'm going to show you 2 pieces I rescued, and the first piece was only $6, and I went into the thrift store, and I just like looking around and, you know, seeing, you know, whatever you could find in the thrift store. I love going to stores like that. And I saw this cross stitch piece, and I was just like, oh my gosh, that's gorgeous. Like, how did and my heart just went out to the person who stitched it. How did this piece end up in a thrift store? And I just stood there and looked at the piece, and I just thought about that person. Are they alive? Did they pass away and somebody didn't want it? How could this end up in a thrift store? And then I thought about the pieces I stitched. Will my piece end up one day in a thrift store? And I was just like, I think that just really got to me, and I had to buy the piece. It's beautiful. It is birds on a birdhouse. You know, I have my birdhouses, and you could probably hear them right now because they're all over the place right now feeding. If you listen, you can hear them. I was just floored on this piece, and I can't even explain it. But I'm Marlene. I know you know, and other people who do rescue cross-stitch pieces understand, and it's beautiful. And this is the piece. Now it is under glass, so it says welcome, and it has all of the birdhouses there. It's gorgeous, people. $6. The initials are KR98. And this piece, it hangs above my fireplace. My brother-in-law redid my fireplace. I did have propane, and I switched out to electric. I did not like propane. I did not like the smell of the propane gas. And he redid it. He got a really nice piece of solid wood oak and stained it and finished it. It's absolutely gorgeous. And John, if you ever watch this video, you know I love you. Thank you so much for doing that. And that is my sister's husband, but that man is so good to me. There are no words to thank him. And I don't want to tear up, but I'm tearing up because he's so good to me. And I'm so blessed and lucky for that. The next piece that I rescued, okay, from Case Cross Stitch. She loves pansies like I do. Now, I have nowhere near what she has as far as pansies and things like that. And I picked this piece up because of the pansies there. Now, you could also see the morning glories. And the other two flowers, I don't know what they are, honestly. Maybe one of you will know out there. It's a gorgeous piece, people. And the pansies and the detail on the morning glories and the pansies, I couldn't not pick it up. It was $22, and usually $20 is my limit to spend on something somebody else did, but it's gorgeous. And I also thought about that person. How did this end up in a thrift store? And I love them. And Marlene, I totally get what you said, the time and energy that these people put into these pieces and the framing. That costs money. And I just cannot, it touches my heart when I look at these, because you think of those people. What were they like? You know, clearly, you know, something happened. Maybe they passed away. I mean, that's all I could think of, because they would still have the pieces if they were still around. And that, as a stitcher, I guess only a stitcher could get that. When I was hanging this by my fireplace, my sister said, how are you hanging something you didn't stitch? I can't explain it. I mean, I know you guys all get it. And yeah, some people just won't get that. And I totally understand that. We're stitchers. We're from a different world. Now, the last thing I'm going to talk about, hold on a second. I have something coming up here. Thank you. I was going to sneeze. The last thing I want to do is send out a very special thank you to Elizabeth. I just adore this little piece that you made, and you wanted to send it to me. And Elizabeth, your ornament a week project is just amazing. I mean, the work you do is so different than what I do. We all are so talented in different areas, and I love this piece. Thank you so much from the bottom of my heart. I adore this piece. And why this means even more, and then this hangs by my fireplace. I'm going to include a picture at the end on a slideshow. The first piece I stitched this year was North Pole Express. And look at that. Look at the difference in people. This is what I was talking about. We could all stitch the same piece. They look totally different. Like it amazes me. Like, and every time I look at this, Elizabeth, I think of you. I'll never not think of you. And this will be out all year. I don't care what season it is. This will always be hanging somewhere in my house. Right now it's by my fireplace mantle. And that's what I wanted to express to people, is we could all stitch the same design, but when we finish it, it's our piece. It's totally ours. I just absolutely floored about getting that in the mail. That was my happy mail. Thank you, Elizabeth, so much. I do want to end by saying everybody have a blessed weekend. And until we meet again, happy stitching. I'm going to include at the end, the first video will be the stitching retreat. And that's just a slideshow. Nobody wanted to be on video. The second one, I have a video of the Saturday stitching group. Now, a lot of people didn't want to be on camera, but they all talked around. And you'll see that. It's exciting to see some of the pieces, some in heaven and earth pieces in there, people. You'll absolutely love it. Have a great weekend, everyone. I'm at my Saturday stitching group, and we're going to start with Dee, and look at the piece she is working on. Dee, what is the name of this by Heaven and Earth?
Enchanted Christmas Reindeer.
That is just gorgeous, people. Look at this. Beautiful. All right, so we have Michelle. Michelle, what are you working on?
Well, do you want to see the picture?
Yeah. Show us a picture.
I don't remember the name of it.
Oh, look at it. Oh, so it's a kit.
Uh-huh.
The Gold Collection by Dimensions. And that's a stocking.
And you know what was really nice? It was missing the chart, and they sent it to me for free.
Awesome. Must be St. Nick stocking. That's beautiful. Let me see your piece again. Oh, look at that, people. Beautiful.
This is my third.
Sue is working on a Flip It by Lizzie Kate.
With a bit of July.
Oh, very cute. Look at that. Very
And
nice.
I've accomplished this in 3 days.
Awesome. Carol is working on Heartfelt Design Works. Oh, look at that. Look at the colors. Very pretty. You enjoy this one, Carol?
It's coming on.
Okay. Now we got Barbara. Barbara is doing, of course, a Prairie Schooler Santa.
You just don't have the room to work on it.
Oh, look at the
The
colors.
seats are so tiny now.
Very nice, Barbara.
Thank you.
You don't have a lot.
And Tracy, what are you working on here?
Grand Old Flag.
Okay. And this is by?
Don't show them the x-ray.
Is it Brenda Gervais?
It is.
There you go. I know my Brenda Gervais.
You sure do.
Oh, that's beautiful. You're almost done.
Pretty soon, yeah.
And then we're on to Terry.
Okay, this is Ackworth School
Oh, look at that.
1815 sampler, reproduced by my friend Darlene.
Awesome.